What is going on YouTube? STIPE today, and here behind me today I have a Jeep Gladiator, and today I'm going to be talking about why maybe the Jeep Gladiator wasn't as big of a hype as everyone thought it would be, and why maybe it may just be a flop. It might be too soon to call it a flop, but we'll see in this video what I have to say about it, and hopefully you guys can let me know in the comments after at the end of the video when you watch this what you guys think about what I'm going to talk about today. But before we do get into this video, please make sure you do hit that subscribe button and we'll get right into it. So as you can see, this is the beautiful Jeep Gladiator. Now, yes, it is very cool, it is very stylish, and it is very like a Jeep Wrangler, obviously with a pickup bed on the back, but very similar on the inside, and pretty much from just about this point here and back is really the only changes. This one has been upgraded with a 2-inch Fox lift kit and rims and tires. Now on the inside here, I will show you quickly, fairly similar to a Jeep Wrangler, which is kind of one of the main reasons why I think that it may perhaps be a flop. This is a sport model and gets complemented really nicely with those rims and tires. So yes, now when we're talking about this model here, the Gladiator, and why I personally think it is a little bit of a flop. Right off the hip hop, you know, you had your first three that landed. Everybody's like, oh wow, that's so cool, this and that. Some people are like, ew, I don't like it, it's ugly. And then all those people for the last 9 months who were telling you, oh yeah, I can't wait to come in and buy one, all of a sudden, crickets. You don't see them, you don't hear them, and all of a sudden people aren't interested in them. Now, where most people just, you know, like, oh yeah, I would totally buy that if Jeep came out with it. Oh, they're coming out with it, I can't wait, I'm totally getting it. Never happened. Most people, I mean, this Sport was the first one that arrived at the lot, and it's still here. There's another Sport that's the same, it's still here. We have an Overland that's still here. We have another Overland that's still here. Pretty much a Rubicon sold and another Overland sold. Maybe 2 Overlands sold, and that's about it right now. And there's plenty of more to come in. So what are the main problems? Well, obviously most people are going to say price, and I agree 100%. The prices run too similarly to the Wrangler. If anything, I think that the truck should be a little bit less money. Maybe they should offer maybe just better incentives on it to make it a little bit more intriguing. I don't know, maybe they will eventually once it's been out for a longer time. I'm sure they will, because clearly this is not working. Or is it just too soon to judge? I don't know. Maybe I'm a little bit ahead of myself here and judging it way too quickly, considering they've only been on the lot for about 2 months now, and maybe it's just too soon to tell. But for the most part, I would say that yes, the Gladiator as of right now is a flop, and I'm not taking anything away from the vehicle. I think the vehicle is a fantastic vehicle. Another issue I think with it though is really, I think that people look at this and they look at a Wrangler and it's like, well, for the same price, I would rather get the Wrangler because the trunk space in the back. And when I say when I'm comparing the Gladiator to a Wrangler, I'm comparing it to a 4-door Unlimited. I'm not comparing it to a 2-door because that just wouldn't make any sense. The beauty of a 4-door Wranglers is you got that back space and it's covered nicely. It gives you more headroom for back storage over there. It is shorter though than the pickup box. Having said that though, if you really had to, you could fold down the seats in the Wrangler and you would have no problem then fitting just as much as you could in the pickup box. Actually, you could probably fit a whole lot more due to the fact that you have that head height and everything. I think that's another thing about it. And most people, from what I'm hearing, is most people always, when they see a Wrangler, they're like, oh, that's so awesome, that's so cool, I love it. The Gladiator, on the other hand, I hear a lot of people are divided on it. I don't know why, but a lot of people kind of either you like it or you don't. It's really one of those vehicles so far. And I think it may be too due to the fact that people who do, let's say, own a JL Wrangler and were, you know, hyped up about the Gladiator coming out and were so excited about it, maybe it was just too similar for them and they couldn't justify upgrading into a Gladiator, or maybe not upgrading, just going into a Gladiator now because they feel that their Wrangler is too similar and it just wouldn't make any sense. And I mean, I agree with that. I mean, financially, it just wouldn't make sense because you're probably going to lose out on a little bit of money on you know, trading in your Wrangler or whatever it may be, selling your Wrangler and then buying a Gladiator, you might lose out some money for pretty much the same vehicle. And it's not like the JL Wrangler has been out for 4 years. It's been out for only a year. Main, I think, issues with the Gladiator so far, like I said, it might be too early to tell, and I don't think it's too early to tell. I think it is a flop, and what will correct that is probably big discounts, big incentives, is more than likely what Chrysler is going to end up having to do in order to make this car really boom and sell, you know, and just really stand out from the competition. And when it comes to competition, that's the other issue. I mean, what it competes with, most of the stuff is a whole lot cheaper, and you know, some people would say it's better. If you compare it, really the only vehicles I can think it compares to is Colorado, the Ranger, and the Tacoma. And it's I would say it's way more unique than the Tacoma or the Colorado and the Ranger. It looks so much cooler and this and that, but at the end of the day, it comes with a much heavier price tag. I think when you're looking at options and everything, when you fully load one of these and you fully load, let's say, the competition, you're looking at something that's very expensive. And a lot of people have been telling me, you know, the Tacomas are a little more capable than the Gladiators, and I wouldn't be surprised if that's very true. And in the first year of the JL Wrangler, I mean, there was quite a bit of recalls and issues that FCA had to overcome in order to come to that point where it wasn't necessarily a big problem. So I think that the Gladiator over time will probably start to sell fairly quick, but for now, I think that it's definitely going to be a little bit slow, just until, you know, Chrysler figures out how they can make it a little bit more intriguing. And I think it's going to all come down to price. It usually does. I mean, at the end of the day, you can love something, but if you can't afford it, or you can afford it, and it just doesn't make sense, you're not going to do it. And most people who are pretty financially smart or just have common sense financially will not buy it. If they have, let's say, a JL Wrangler, they just can't justify it. I mean, unless if you're caking money and you don't really give a damn, then hey, God bless you, go for it. But yeah, so that's my opinion for today, guys. Let me know what you guys think generally about the JL Wrangler and the Gladiator. I'm probably going to do a video within this week too on the JL Wrangler versus the Gladiator and go over the differences between the two and which one I actually like better of the two. Just because I'm saying the Gladiator is a flop doesn't mean I don't like it more than the Wrangler. So I will get into that. As I always say, guys, please make sure you do hit the like button if you did like the video, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And as I always say, I'll be back with more videos. Thanks, guys.